Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. It's a pleasure to see you all here this afternoon, to see such a large crowd. This is a celebration. It is a celebratory occasion where we are able to honor a senior surgeon who's made a significant contribution to global surgery, and also, of course, an opportunity to award diplomas of membership and fellowship. But it is a celebration, so you're meant to enjoy yourselves. So when people come to the stage with whom you are willing to be associated, parent, spouse, friend, relative, please clap. But if culturally you wish to break into song, cheer, give them a big hello, jump up and down, I don't really mind. It all adds to the entertainment and the celebratory nature of the occasion. So do whatever you feel appropriate without embarrassing your offspring. You can, of course, take photos. If you want to, please, the center aisle can be used. If you stand, please remember there are people behind you. Whatever you do, do not walk into the outside aisles. You'll get caught up in a procession. You'll end up round here on the stage. Mr. Reed will not know your name. I will not have a certificate for you. We don't just knock them out. You can't just buy them, you know. So please, just in the middle, you can come right down here to get a good shot. We'll try and give you a bit of extra time if that's what you want to do. The important thing is to enjoy yourselves for everyone here. Surgery, of course, is a serious business. It's a profession that's associated with great responsibility. People allow us to invade their bodies, and of course, great privilege in that sense. Our patients place great trust in us. That trust is founded, of course, on your clinical abilities. And I think it's fair to say that in training, the emphasis, quite rightly, is on the development of those clinical skills. Your ability to communicate with patients from all walks of life equally well. Your ability to make diagnoses, to treat patients who have surgical conditions, to develop your technical skills to the best of your ability, to look after patients after their operation, and of course to fix it when it didn't quite work out the way that you wanted. These, of course, are the bedrock of becoming a surgeon. And they're the things that are most important in your training, and we should never try and reduce the importance of these elements. However, I would put it to you that the modern surgeon needs to develop far more skills than simply those that express your clinical abilities. Education and training is absolutely vital for the modern surgeon. It's part of your job, it's part of your responsibilities. In the future, we will work with much bigger teams. Many more professional people will be involved in the care of the surgical patient, and it behoves the surgeon to educate and train each and every one of those people in the team. In the same way, I would say that research is no longer an option for the training surgeon, or indeed for the consultant. Everybody must understand how to appraise evidence, how strong it is, how useful it is, how important is it to our patients. Everybody should be able to put patients into clinical trials and explain why there is uncertainty, why the surgeon is not absolutely certain about what the right treatment for a patient might be. And perhaps finally, the third area that is vital nowadays is management and leadership. And I think that people could easily be critical of my generation for not having taken on leadership roles in our health service system at a time when it was evolving. But I think we've started to recognize that this was probably an error on the part of the profession, and that the correct development of surgery and the delivery of surgery in this country and outside the United Kingdom, and indeed globally, demands leadership from surgeons. So let me finish with 2 words, I think, that I'd like you to take away from today. The first is collaboration. We must learn to not become insular within our own institution, within our region, within our country, or even internationally. We must learn to collaborate with a wide group of individuals in order to see surgery develop properly. The second thing, of course, is flexibility. The operations that you do now in your training may well be obsolete in 10 years' time. You have to think about what other skills will you develop in that time that will maintain your enthusiasm, your desire to do your best for patients and improve surgical care. That's what this college stands for. That's what we aspire to. And indeed, in becoming members and fellows of this college, in a sense, that's what you're joining up for. The most important thing is, though, in your surgical career, is that you enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed mine. I rather wish I was sitting where you are, back near the start of my surgical career, because I think this is a fantastic time to be becoming a surgeon. Thank you. We now begin the formal part of the proceedings, and we will begin with the presentation of an honorary fellowship. Mr. Vice President. The citation will be read by Lord Ribeiro, a past president of this college.
Mr. President, it is my pleasure to be able to give this citation for Dr. Brent Eastman, past president of the American College of Surgeons, a trauma surgeon, a fly fisherman, and a trusted friend. Raised in Wyoming, his father and grandfather both worked on the Union Pacific Railway. He describes his father operating the largest steam locomotive ever built, the Big Boy, which burnt an awesome amount of coal. His love of England followed a clerkship organized by his boss, Dr. Engelbert Dumphy, with Sir Hedley Atkins, a past president of this college, at Guy's Hospital. Dr. Dumphy later arranged for Brent to spend a year with Mr. Alan Burt at the Norfolk and Norwich Hospital in 1969 and 1970. Alan Burt commanded the 22nd Field Surgical Unit in North Africa during the war and was entrusted with a sealed brown envelope, a parcel actually, in July 1943, to be opened only when at sea. It contained 25 ampules, each containing 20,000 units of penicillin for the landings in Sicily. This was the first documentation of this new discovery in a war zone, and I suspect this too was a catalyst for pointing Brent into a career in trauma surgery. Completing his general surgical residencies in the United States, he was appointed N. Paul Witter Chair of Trauma, Scripps Memorial Hospital in La Jolla in 1984-2002, and then Clinical Professor of Surgery and Trauma, UC San Diego from 2002 to 2012. Dr. Eastman was chairman of the ACS Committee on Trauma from 1990 to 1994, and co-founder of the San Diego County Trauma System. Before Brent's involvement, the percentage of preventable trauma deaths in the region was 22%. By 1994, that percentage had fallen to 1%. The latter provided the impetus for the National Trauma Program. In 2000, he served on the Institute of Medicine's committee, which produced a landmark report on the future of emergency care in the United States health system, a masterclass in demonstrating and highlighting the importance of trauma systems around the world, and this in the wake of Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and later in 2010, the earthquake in Haiti. Brent and I share a love of fly fishing. We have exchanged days on the chalk streams of Hampshire for the raw beauty of the 7 Mile River, surrounded by the mountain ranges of Wyoming. On his mantelpiece is a photograph of him as a young student, standing in a boat, guiding the president's wife, Lady Bird Johnson, down the rapids. Hardly the sign of a misspent youth. Brent is married to Sarita Ortica, a graduate of UCSF Medical School, an acclaimed developmental and behavioral pediatrician, and an author. They have 3 children who all live around Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Roan is a teacher and a river guide. Ian, a specialist in reversible energy systems and a mountaineer. And a daughter, Alexandra, an associate producer at the Metropolitan Opera in New York. Mr. President, I present to you for admission as an honorary fellow of the college, Dr. Brent Eastman.
By the authority of Council and the powers vested in me as President, I admit you as an honorary fellow of this college with my warmest congratulations, President. We'll now proceed with the Diplomat Awards.
President, I present to you a research fellow.
Ioannis Sarantitis.
Congratulations.
President, I present to you the Senior Clinical Fellows.
Malik Shakil Ahmed. Robert Ionut Iorga.
President, I present successful candidates at a recent intercollegiate specialty examination, Fellows in General Surgery.
Akinfemi Ayobami Akinboye.
Congratulations. Thank you.
William Robert Ball. Jonathan Paul Evans. Jake Declan Foster. Tazaduk Hussain. Huria Kazim. Rafat Fadli Mohammed Mahdi. Reena Ravikumar. Salim Taye. Umar Jaweed Wali. Una Joan Walsh. Simon Neil Wood.
President, I present to you a fellow in neurosurgery.
Jibin Joseph Francis. Trevor Mingyi Young.
President, I present to you a fellow in oral and maxillofacial surgery.
Siddharth Gauri Shankar.
Now we're beginning to warm to our theme, but we're still being a little bit British and a bit reserved here.
President, I present to you a fellow in otolaryngology.
Richard James Green.
President, I present to you a fellow in pediatric surgery.
Sundeep Marshall Cornelius Kisku.
President, I present to you fellows in plastic surgery.
Surgeon Commander Anton Fries. Helen Richenda Richards. Edmund Hugh Francis Xavier Wright.
President, I present to you fellows in trauma and orthopedic surgery.
Basil Afif Abdelrahman Boudair. Arman Memazadeh. Islam Mokhtar Qutb Mohammed Mubarak. Adil Sarfaraz Mumid. Piyush Kumar Upadhyay.
I think you want it down here. See, there's a whole crowd of them there. They're going to be disappointed.
Thank you very much. President, I present to you a Fellow in Neurology.
Hossam Abdelazim Serag.
President, I present to you Fellows ad eundem.
Victor A. de Ridder. Triantaphilos Doulias. Ajay Kumar Khanna. Sylvia Krivan. Ram Kual Shah.
President, I present to you successful candidates at the recent examinations for membership of the Royal College of Surgeons, diplomates from Armenia University, Bharati Vidyapeth Dumed University, Cairo University, Peninsula Medical School.
Mohammed Reda Mohammed Abdel Monem. Tessa Claire Fraser. Ashley Michael Hill. Hani Fauzi Anwar Soliman Khalil. Catherine O'Brien. Youssef Rafik Rizkala Gueguis.
President, I present to you diplomats from St George's University of London, King's College London, GKT School of Medical Education, Tamil Nadu University, India, the University of Manchester, University College London, and the University of Birmingham.
Kenrick Kai Chi Chan. Fang Yi Chung. Michael Fardell. Sebastian Tsilung Ho.
One that way, I think. You got it? You sure? We got it. We got it.
Hassan Mohammed. Satish S.N.
You got it? You sure? We can't let him off.
Karishma Shah.
Did you get her there? You sure? That's fine.
Olivia Spence.
That's better. Put your thanks for Olivia. Congratulations. Oh, is that your dad? Is that your dad? Is that right? Looks like your dad.
Thank you.
He wants more. You sure? No, he's good.
President, I present to you diplomats from the University of Dhaka, University of East Anglia, University of Leeds, University of Leicester, University of Peshawar, and University of Southampton.
Mohammed Abdullah Al Mamoon.
That one. Thank you.
Daniel Bida. David Krastek. Gemma Hughes.
That's a good start, right, Gemma? Your brother. That was pretty impressive. Is him with the camera? Oh, I see. It's your boyfriend. Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't.
Farouk Khan. Isabel Pereira. Arjamand Batul Shah.
President, I present to you diplomates from Imperial College London, University of Aberdeen School of Medicine and Dentistry, and the University of Malta.
George William Victor Cross. Edward Donnelly. Ahmet Ezat. Nikhil Patel. Kashed Rahman.
Let's go, my G.
Very good. Relative or just a mate?
It's my brother.
Your brother. Yeah, well, we can't pick our relatives, can we?
Ravina Tanner.
Nice one, Rob.
David Thompson. Martinique Vela Baldacchino. Demelza Vinicum.
President, I present to you successful candidates at recent examinations for membership of the Royal College of Surgeons via the ENT route.
Faiza Ali. Elizabeth Castleton. Michael Mon Hon Chu. Elliot Hewitt. Crinny Nicholson. Lucy Mint Wilkes.
So that concludes the presentation of the diplomates. I should say that each extra photograph that you take there is only £5 each if you'd just like to make a donation on the way. Your supporters who are here in droves today, of course, have supported you in many ways, not the least of which I suspect is financial. The bad news is they're probably not done yet. But it would be a great gesture, I think. They've applauded and cheered and clapped you, brothers, boyfriends, moms, dads. Perhaps you could all stand and give them a big round of applause, or a cheer, or whatever else you fancy. Dr. Eastman will now give us a short address. Brent.
Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to be here in London to deliver these remarks. To echo your president, let me congratulate the members and fellows on your achievements and also acknowledge your families and partners who have given so much to see this day. This is a great day for all of us. Particular joy for me, since I was younger than any of you when I was first introduced to the Royal College of Surgeons of England. As Lord Ribeiro said, my professor, Dr. J. Engelbert Dunphy, at the University of California, San Francisco, was a great Anglophile who fostered international surgery. In 1966, when I was a senior medical student, Dr. Dunphy arranged a rotation for me at Guy's Hospital on the service of Sir Hedley Atkins and Lord Russell Brock. Then 3 years later, in 1969, I found myself a middle grade registrar at the Norfolk and Norwich Hospital in Norwich. If I can divert with a slight anecdote, I went to my first clinic in Norwich, not knowing very much about the National Health Service or the system in England, and I went to my first clinic where I saw many patients. And there was a large leather-bound book with people who were on the waiting list for surgery. And I was astonished that I was able to choose my list of surgery for the next week or two. However, the purpose of telling you this was my faux pas. My initials then, that I assigned every document as a young surgeon, was B.E., Brent Eastman. And I saw many, many patients that day with everything from thyroid cancer to colon cancer to gallbladder disease. And I wrote my treatment plan and my orders and signed it B.E. I returned several weeks later to that same clinic, astonished to find that all of my patients had had a barium enema. I was somewhat chagrined and asked Sister, well, are you doing a special study on colon cancer in England? And she said, no, you're the first American we've had here, and we thought you must be doing some sort of a research project. So the professor said to be sure and honor your order. Let me say, though, that my time at Guy's Hospital as a medical student and then later in Norwich as a middle grade registrar were hugely important in my development to become a complete surgeon. It nurtured my lifelong affection for this country and a host of friendships which endure to this day. I should also say, speaking of Anglophilia, that when I had the privilege of serving as president of the American College of Surgeons, I learned that the founder of our college, the American College of Surgeons, Dr. Franklin Martin, was so inspired by your college, the Royal College of Surgeons of England, that he based our entire fellowship induction ceremony, robes and all, on the rites which have honored all of us here today. As Lord Ribeiro has said, I was a boy from a small town of Evanston, Wyoming. You may not know this, but the least populous state in the United States, where I had two profound experiences which set me on my career to surgery. The first, as an 8-year-old, when a surgeon corrected an otherwise fatal vascular anomaly of my kidney. And then at 11, when my father, who was a locomotive engineer, as you've heard, who ran the big steam engines, took me to the site of the great Evanston train wreck, where one passenger train slammed into another during the worst blizzard of the winter, and where I saw surgeon passengers crawl out of the wreckage and help the wounded. And I suddenly knew that I wanted to be able to take care of people like that. I suspect all of you new diplomates have stories about how you chose a career in surgery and about your mentors. And I would like to emphasize your mentors. And I hope when things get tough, which they will, and when you are dealing with pain and disability and a very challenged health system, that you can find a way to dip into that early well of inspiration and feel refreshed for the work ahead. To echo your president, I would like to say, please do stay involved with this college to help shape the surgical care in the United Kingdom and beyond. And I believe that international collaboration is absolutely essential to the future of our profession in this polarized world. We should all strive for a diplomacy of health. One more pertinent Wyoming story is summers during college and medical school, I supported myself as a guide on the Snake River in the Grand Teton National Park. And those trips, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3 weeks, all summer, taught me an extremely important lesson. Every day we floated the same 30 miles of river at the base of the same gorgeous mountains with the same bald eagles flying overhead, the moose, the wildflowers. However, here is the point. What was new each day were the 18 people who had never experienced anything like this before. So the lesson for me then and for you today, never forget as you go forward in your profession that what is routine and commonplace for you is unique for those for whom you care. Know that there will be hard times, maybe even tragic times in your life, and consider the truism that adversity does not build character, adversity reveals character. And here is an axiom to live by. Aim for grace. In its simplest form, this means to do honor by your presence. Or to put it another way, please see to it that everyone around you thrives. Mother Teresa of Calcutta taught that we do not have to look across the world to find those most in need of our love and concern. they can often be found sitting across from you at the breakfast table. And finally, I must say that all this urgent and endless need should never make you forget the great privilege that you have as a fully qualified surgeon, wherever you are in the world. My greatest wish for you is the joy of a life in surgery that has been mine. Thank you for the honor of this fellowship.
Thank you. I could have just said good over you. And the vote of thanks will be given by Professor Neil Mortensen, Vice President.
So, on behalf of the President, my fellow colleagues on the Council, past President of the Royal College of Surgeons, Lord Rivero, honoured guests and diplomates, and your families, friends and partners, a big thank you for this inspiring personal story. I was going to say Dr. Eastman, but I'm now going to say Brent, because you are part of the family now.
You still say B.E.
We still say B. Part of the family of the Royal College of Surgeons. And what I was going to say to the diplomats was just to remind them of a few things that we've heard about this afternoon. Brent, of course, started by looking after individual patients, but then went on to look after communities and major parts of health organization in the United States, and including the United States military. So some of you will have that enormous privilege of just not only looking after individuals, but looking after the larger health community, which is a fantastic privilege. We've heard about mentors, we've heard about collaboration, we've heard about the diplomacy of health. All these things are really, really important. We've heard about flexibility from Derek. We've heard, as Brent has said, that adversity reveals character. Many congratulations on your honorary fellowship. I'm just going to finish with one last lighter note, if I may. Now, many of you in the audience won't know that each fly that a fly fisherman ties has a name, a particular character or sort. There is one fly which is used on the chalk streams of Hampshire, where Bernie fishes, called the Bloody Butcher. And I'm going to hope, Brent, that you don't use the Bloody Butcher too often. Thank you very much indeed.
That, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the ceremony. We'd like you all now to stand while we process from the room, and we look forward to seeing you with some refreshments and perhaps the odd drink downstairs. Thank you.